Hello, everybody. My name is Sean Hilton, and I've spent the last 7 years in a small patch of land brought together by American natives to hone my craft and skills to better serve my city. Today, I'm joined by Michael Allen Harrison. That was my CW Arrow opening. It's pretty good.
You failed this opening.
That hurts. That hurts. I didn't practice that or anything, but I thought it was pretty good, really. I am joined today by my good friend, long compatriot in geekdom, Mr. Michael Allen Harrison, who nearly killed us many, many years ago while driving a car while trying to read a comic book on a way to a comic book show. That is just me dropping a fact.
Everything's true except nearly killed.
Nearly killed us.
Take that out.
And then I was scolded because I was the Chewy in the situation.
You never grab the wheel, okay? You just don't
because
do it.
we were veering off as he was not finishing that page quite quick enough, veering off towards the giant on-ramp thing with the what are those called? The cement barrier. So we're getting ready to careen into that, probably with a gentle ballet-like style. I simply reached over and he's like, "Hey, don't touch, don't touch."
Number one, I wasn't reading. I was falling asleep because we were headed up. We were headed up to. Well, yeah, reading is intentionally bad. Falling asleep. We were headed up to Michigan City or not Michigan City, up to Motor City.
Absolutely.
And it was like 5 a.m. We left because we always have to be first ones there, and
yeah,
it's dumb. And that's what happened. And two, you want to drive? Sorry.
Wasn't me.
Sorry.
Are we starting over? Pretty far into this point.
No, this is all gold.
All right.
Get your own license. That lost its punch. Sorry, everybody.
Yeah, it's all good, buddy. It's all good. So, I want to take a quick second to thank out all those in Howard County Correctional Facilities that are watching our program. I've been told that we have quite the fan base on both sides of the bars. So,
we are big.
Thank you very much. I mean, it's sad in a way that they're being forced to watch us and really don't have a choice, I'm sure. But hey, you know, that's cool. At least we got somebody watching besides my mom.
Right.
So that's great.
Did you hear there was a big security breach at Sprint?
No.
Even at their headquarters, they only have 2 bars. I made it, and it was a joke.
Oh, it was horrible.
Oh, okay.
That was so bad.
All right, then. Sorry.
All right, so last couple days I've been getting ready for Gen Con. And last night, we took an opportunity to do a play test.
Ooh.
So we write a role-playing scenario, the adventure, and then we find a group of people that are willing to test it out for us before we go unleash it on people. So this is our play test. And so Jason Hecky over at the brand new game store in town, Kingdom Cards and Games, located on Washington Street, was kind enough to have us over. He's got a cool little side room that's perfect for role-playing game playing. So me, and then I took in 6 players, 5 of which had never played a role-playing game before in their lives.
Boy.
And so our 2-hour game turned into a 3-hour game.
That's all right, though.
But it was because they were doing extra stuff, they were learning, and they were having fun.
Right.
So it helped out a lot. We ironed out some things, and I think they all had a pretty good time.
And
so
this was a Harry Potter type?
Yes, it was a Harry Potter thing. We use a different set of rules, but I don't want to go into all the details about that. But basically, 2-hour thing, takes place in the middle of the Philosopher's Stone storyline. So imagine like a little fan fiction there that's not all salty and adult-like, and there's a little adventure which would have been like an extra 2 or 3 chapters placed in the middle of the book, and they got to play that out and play these characters.
Speaking of Harry Potter.
Yeah, I love Harry Potter.
You had me watch something called The Worst Witch.
That was on Netflix.
Yes.
Yes. Now, all right, so there's always new programming on Netflix at this point.
Sure.
And at this point, I've always...
Much to the detriment of their checkbook.
Yes, we'll get into that. I've always joked that I take Netflix off on my business stuff and, tax, blah, blah, blah. All right, no, now it's legitimate. There is so much new crap coming on Netflix that we talk about for this show that it's no longer a joke. I mean, it is insane the amount of material they're handling. So... out of all the new programming, The Worst Witch was, the first episode was like an hour long, but after that, they're the 30-minute kind of programming. The Worst Witch is obviously created for young girls between the ages of, and I'm guessing because they don't have children, I'm going to guess between 7 and 12.
Okay.
That tween era is what I'm feeling.
Okay.
So I've watched the first 3 or 4 of them.
What? Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
I watched the first 3 or 4 minutes.
Wow. Yeah, me and my wife kind of enjoy it. It's bad. It really is. It's but again, I review these things based on the fact that it is meant for that age
If Harry
group,
Potter
but
was a girl and had 1/20th
budget.
of the budget,
no budget.
that's what this show is. Although the actress who plays that Mildred, okay, she is in Game of Thrones.
What?
Yeah.
No, seriously, really?
Seriously,
As what?
she is Lady Mormont. She's a young leader of this particular house, okay, because everybody else is dead.
Well,
she's the
I've
leader.
heard that happens.
But just to give you an idea of her character, if she had 3 dragons, she'd rule Westeros in season 2. Okay.
Wow.
Okay.
She's just that hardcore as a little kid.
She's cool.
Well, the show itself, again, it's based for little, I would say little boys or little girls because that's, whatever. But it definitely is hit for that kind of age group. If you have kids that are that age, I think they would enjoy it.
Sure.
It's fun.
I'm not sure it's a Netflix exclusive, though. I think it's a BBC show.
Oh, is it? It definitely feels like it could be. Yeah. It might be one of those deals where they say it's a Netflix show and it's actually done somewhere else. But low budget, but fun, kind of cutesy.
Sure.
Kind of reminds me of that kind of thing that Nickelodeon
I was going to say
like that would have had
Very
back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
But with, as I said, that Harry Potter element. So that was pretty
Nickelodeon
cool.
is full of nothing but superhero shows.
Really?
It is all these teen kids and their families who have superpowers. I bet there's at least 3 shows.
Wow.
It's crazy.
Netflix also is our big news of the week is still Netflix. That was just a little thing. But the acquisition or the anti-acquisition, Disney is terminating contracts with Netflix as of 2019.
Right.
After just putting together a big exclusive kind of a deal that was leading Netflix as being their platform of choice for the digital media, meaning their superhero stuff was going there, their Frozen and all that kind of material was going there. Rogue One had just popped up on there. And now Disney just made a huge announcement. 2019, we're canceling all of that. It's all done. We're starting our own pay channel. Now we can call these whatever they want to be called. I am simply going to start referring to these as pay channels.
Yeah.
If you want it, you're going to have to pay for it.
Yeah.
So
it's a streaming service, but I would say what we might have called a streaming service 2 years ago is completely changed now because it's on you can get it on this, you can get it on your tablet, you can get it on your TV, even though you don't have that particular cable setup. You're not getting it through cable, you're getting it through the internet and it's showing up on your TV. So it is a channel. Things are channels now. We are getting what we've asked for years and years, and that I don't want HGTV. I don't want the Hillbilly Network or whatever, things.
But you're going to pay for it.
Right.
Now, we don't know what the price point is yet. We don't know any of the real details yet. Now, speculation has been going all over the place, and the speculation is on a very big scale because the day after this announcement was made that Disney is going to pull their material and start their own channel, Disney lost, I think, 4% or so of their stock value or whatever, and Netflix also at the same time took almost the exact same hit. Mm-hmm. Now, really, I think this isn't a loss for either of them. Netflix might take a minor loss from losing that material, but I don't see that as the case. And Disney is definitely not going to take any loss because Disney is made of magic and makes nothing but money. They just grind it out, baby. That money is coming in no matter what. And this is what they do. They will acquire, I think they have actually already acquired a streaming digital platform company, which is now going to be in-house. So they will control that. Right. They will then control every bit of this. Now, some of the things that we haven't been made clear, but we are pretty sure of, is that your Daredevil, Defenders, Iron Fist, Luke Cage, and Jessica Jones are a cross-platform situation. Punisher is that is not solely owned by Netflix, but is also not a licensed deal. They created that content, so I don't believe that any time in the near future those episodes will be going to Disney or anywhere else. They'll be staying there. Anything that's newly created may go between the two. At this point, I think it would be in Disney's best interest to at least keep a few programs out there on other channels to act as a feeder system into their channel. Right. That just makes sense to me. So if Netflix wants to keep putting up the money and Netflix wants to keep producing those programs, I'd be all for it. I'd be like, yeah, bring it on. Right. You had mentioned you were thinking that this is going to be a major money deal because Disney was going to have to break contracts and pull stuff.
I'm no lawyer, but I would think that if we sign a contract that we're going to do this, and I'm gearing up, I'm spending money. Netflix is spending money to make this happen, to make the deal happen even, and then all of a sudden you want out of that deal. I think you have to pay me to break that contract.
Well, we know Disney's got some of the best lawyers in the world.
Sure.
My thinking here, again, and the details are really sketchy on some
Unless there was something in the deal to begin with saying we can pull out anytime we want to.
Well,
that's the deal.
I think the deal is probably set for a 2-year contract, and that they had 2 years of this material. And because that seems odd that number 2019 seems kind of arbitrary, unless of course that happens to be the time where they would have to have renewed the contract for that material. So that's what makes sense to me without looking into it. As this story unfolds and more information becomes available, we are definitely going to be covering it.
It could have been one of those deals because Netflix has been suspiciously closed-doored about their financials and everything. And then they're public, so they have to send out certain things. But let's say I'm Disney and I just signed this big contract with them, and then all of a sudden I hear all kinds of rumblings about you're how much in debt? And
$48 billion?
I know we're only just hearing this week, but I'm sure they heard about it. They knew about it long before that they're cranking out so much original material that even though I think 70% of households have a Netflix account, it's a crazy number. So am I worried about the financial stability of the platform that I'm giving you my material for? That's a possibility too. And then obviously there's a thing where it's my original content. I want to have control about who sees it, where they see it, and everything. The problem is, as much as we want all these, I want only this, this, and this. You can have that. I don't want that and that. If services start making the prices crazy, Netflix started out at $7.99, $8.99. Now it's up to I think maybe $12. I'm not positive. So if they all start creeping up towards the $15, $20 mark, then we have to start making choices as to I only want this. I don't get Amazon. I don't get Hulu. Okay, it's so much easier to find them these shows that I want. That's 1 or 2 shows on your entire network that I want by other means than it is to shell out $20 a month for it. So they need as you give us what we want, you also need to be careful not to charge us too much for that thing that you're giving us.
I think $12.99 for Netflix is an incredibly good deal. It obviously was better at $7.99, but at $7.99 there was virtually no original content being created. Now there's enough shows on there.
There's more than enough. There's too many.
They have more shows than I want to see on any other network. If they were a network right now, Netflix would be the one network. They'd be like, "You're my network."
Right.
That's who I'm going with. So yes, I think they have to find a good price point. I don't think anybody's going to settle on a $9.99 price point, which I think is the magic number for most Americans right now. I think if you tell me something's $9.99 a month and I want just even 1 or 2 of your shows, at $9.99 a month, I'm willing to commit to that for a little while. Anything over $9.99 a month, and I don't know what, it could be $10.99, $1 more, and I'm like, gotta think about it. Here's what I think is really going to happen. Yes, I think Disney is going to do their spinoff, and I think it is going to do quite well. I think, though, that you have a younger, more savvy technical generation than ever before. And every generation that's coming up is getting more and more technically savvy. You are creating a generation, if not an entire culture, of media pirates. That's what's going to happen. We are all going to pull out our special Amazon walking sticks that are made specially for going through internet pirated jungles, and we are going to figure out how to get every single piece of this material for free. That's how it's going to happen. They're going to have to come to your doors and do horrifically bad things. There's going to have to be crazy amounts of jail time and or financial penalties to stop this whole thing from happening. And they're going to have to make examples of it, and it's never going to work. Because one of us is going to get the Disney thing, one of us is going to get Netflix, and then we're going to figure out a way to share it. And even if we don't do that, we're going to figure out a way to get that material. You didn't exactly say how you were getting these 1 or 2 shows earlier that you wanted, but I've got a feeling that there might be a way to do it. So yeah, I think that's the other thing you got to be careful is you're going to create this. These Cody machines are out there, and they're super easy to use. Yeah. And it's just going to become more and more and more.
So at the same time, Netflix loses all the Disney and Marvel material. They also picked up Miller World.
The Millar World. Mike Millar.
I think it's Miller. I think it's Miller. Is he English?
He is.
Then it's Miller.
Okay.
That's how they spell it.
Well, Mike Miller is a well-known comic creator.
Mark Miller is a very well-known comic creator.
Who did I say?
Mike.
Mike?
I don't know who Mike Miller is.
Well, you could be somebody.
Let me do the show. So Mark Miller. Oh, I did it. See, you got me doing it.
That's right. Yeah, it's not that easy, is it?
Go ahead.
Mark Millar, or Miller.
Perfect.
Started off working for DC, ended up gaining fame working for Marvel Comics, creating a comic book called The Ultimates, which was a second alternate universe version of the Avengers where they were quite mean. quite a bit of the material that you've seen come out of the Marvel Cinematic Universe derives from some of the stuff that Millar did with the Ultimates, including straight up Samuel Jackson as Nick Fury.
Right.
Is straight off those pages. So he's made a reputation for himself. He then got smart, like a lot of comic creators are doing now, and took that celebrity that he had gained and took the fans he had garnered and started doing creator-owned material. Now, you'll know some of his work. He is known as the guy who created Hit Man? Hit Boy? Hit Girl, but it wasn't called that. It was Kick-Ass.
Yeah, right.
He's the guy who created Kick-Ass and Hit Girl and all of that. He's also the guy that's behind the Kingsman and its sequel coming out that's so incredibly popular. He also did Wanted. I don't know if it was called Wanted here in the States, though. It had Angelina Jolie and the Assassins. Was it called Wanted?
It was just called Wanted, yes.
That's another one that he produced. So Netflix has then basically gone in, and this is, I don't know that it's a first, but it's going to be really close to it. They've acquired his entire thing, his entire creative output. They didn't go in and license Wanted. They didn't go in and license Kick-Ass. They just went in and bought the Millar world.
Right.
And I believe that also includes other stuff that he will be working on.
Might be.
Now, his contract, I'm sure, again, is pretty savvy, but, you know, it's a little unusual. People, you know, Sony went out and they went after X-Men and like Fantastic Four. People go after The Thing, or Fox did. Sony got Spider-Man.
Everybody wants a universe now.
You know,
they want to be able to universe build.
And so these guys went in and found one that's got a couple of good movies. You know, the Kick-Ass movies did all right. Mm-hmm. The first Kingsman did really well, it appears.
The second one does not look good at all.
We'll see. I mean, I didn't think that the first one looked great, and I enjoyed it. But he's also got, the one thing I really like about the Miller world is that it's very eclectic. He has your typical superheroes in tights type of stuff, a little bit. He's then got stuff like the Kingsman, which is a twist on something you might be familiar with. The Kick-Ass thing. But then he's got another one that I love called Starlight, which is kind of a Buck Rogers, Flash Gordon thing, but based in the modern world. What happens when you had those adventures in the 30s, 40s, or 50s, and they were real, then you came back and nobody believed you about your adventures that you told them.
Oh.
And now you've grown up and you've grown old and telling these stories that nobody believes and is making fun of you, and then towards the end of your life, the aliens return and like, hey Mike, we need your help again. And you're like, well, hell yeah. And you go and you have another adventure. So stuff like that. He's also done Huck. He's done a book called Empress. There's a lot of material. And his stuff, and this is a pretty well-known fact, after he got done, he started doing his creator-owned stuff. Almost everything he was working on is based on the fact that it was to be licensed. He was going out of his way to create material that would be well-received for either movies or television. And so when you go in with a creative talent that can pull that off and knowing that's what you're trying to do, I think Netflix has probably got themselves in a really good position with this. And I think it could definitely help ease that loss of that Marvel superhero material.
Didn't Bruce Campbell do a movie in which people in the movie came to him because he'd done these movies and real stuff was happening, and so they assumed, or they wanted Bruce Campball to fight off these evil things.
Wouldn't shock me. Okay. Isn't that also the same exact thing that happened in Fright Night?
Yes.
That's the same thing?
Yes, it is.
So,
yeah, what do you want?
Fun stuff. I liked it. So, again, Netflix is, but after all that's said and done, Netflix, we find out, is $48 billion in the hole.
Right.
That's billion.
That's a lot.
That's a lot of money.
It is.
But does anybody? Do we have a clue? Do we have how many numbers? What their subscriber base is?
I don't think they
at $12.99. I mean, this is all money that, yes, they're in debt, but it's all going towards assets that they will now be able to control for the entirety of their thing. I don't believe that people are going to stop watching Daredevil. Yes, it has that initial spike when it comes out, but as new people join over the years,
I don't care about your debt.
Material is going to be there.
Me, you, we don't care about Netflix debt. We care that we turn the channel on and there's something on there. Until that doesn't happen anymore, then we don't care. Sorry, you're doing bad business practices and you can't.
I don't know that's bad business.
If you're producing so much, I mean, there's somebody writing checks saying, okay,
there's got to be a
loan.
Bank or an investor or somebody that thinks this is a good investment. They wouldn't be able to.
Yeah, because they're getting ready to own Netflix as well. They think it's good.
As long as they keep providing that thing you said, when you hit the button, it comes on. Or I hit my PS4 and I can still control it. So interesting stuff.
Yeah.
What would you like to go next, sir?
We got a couple different things.
I know.
Star Trek Discovery is coming pretty soon.
Very excited about this. This is another thing, though, that again, this is going to be a pay channel situation.
Right.
CBS has already. Luckily, they were very smart. They got their paid channel, their streaming service, their paid channel up earlier this year, and put on a couple of exclusives as well as having their catalog of older material.
I'll be honest. Other than let's say Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., I don't watch anything on ABC, CBS, or NBC. I don't watch a single show.
I don't know that I do. I don't think that I do.
You watch Madam Secretary?
Yes, I do enjoy that. I do enjoy that. Thank you. So I'm sure there's one or two, but not very many. A lot of my stuff's coming from CW.
Right.
A lot of my stuff is from Netflix or AMC or Fox or something like that. So this will be originally, supposedly, the first episode is going to be on their regular channel because the first bit's free. And then after that, it goes to the streaming pay channel, and you're going to have to pay a monthly subscription to see your Star Trek. And I believe it's going to be a weekly episodic thing.
Man, the trailer looks like $1 million. The trailer looks like a movie, not a TV show.
They went from the initial showings that they were showing stuff that looked like hack garbage that we could have produced to, you're right, this latest being high budget, high dollar stuff. And it's late, so but for once we're seeing why it's late. The cast looks really good. Is it Sasha from Walking Dead seems to be the star?
Sonequa Martin Green.
Excellent. Good on you.
Green Martin. What?
Something like that.
Have we met?
So she looks, I mean, she was really talented in that show and wasn't really allowed to shine that much. And so I'm under the impression she's probably not on that show anymore. I haven't watched this season, but if she's starring in Star Trek, I'm going to guess that she's probably not available for Walkers anymore.
Spoiler, she did.
Surprise. But, and then we got some other big names in there. Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon Lady.
You mean Michelle Yeoh?
I mean, I've never had dinner with her, but yeah, go with
Michelle
that.
Yeoh. Michelle
Yeoh.
Yeah.
So excited about seeing that.
Right.
But now we're hearing some rumblings that are very different.
Jason Isaacs?
I don't know who that is.
Yes, you do.
Okay. Have I had dinner with Jason Isaacs?
No.
Malfoy's dad.
Who? Malfoy's dad? Oh, yeah.
He's the captain.
And
so is Michelle Yeoh, so one of them is going to die.
Ooh. Or maybe there's two ships at the same. Well, whatever. So the idea is that Gene Roddenberry's original vision from way back in the day was that there was
Wagon Train in the Stars.
Yes. Hey, good job. Very
Stop
little.
giving me accolades for things that are automatic.
I've been told off screen that I don't give you enough attaboys and I need to support you more.
I'm gonna cut you loose with that. You don't have to do that.
So all right. So the initial idea is that there was very little inter-cast conflict on the crew, whereas you would have bickering between Spock and McCoy. That was almost always in good nature.
Right.
But any big thing that might have happened between the crew was actually a storyline and usually ended up with somebody dead.
Right.
So in this, they are saying flat out there will be inter-crew conflict. There will be real life. That there is. This is not the utopia of the stars that we have seen in past Star Trek. That these people will always not get along.
That makes it more realistic.
It does, I suppose, but in an essence, I mean, how realistic is Star Trek? You know.
Well, I said more realistic.
Okay, I mean, yes, and then they've also talked about the fact that no character will be safe from permadeath. Anybody has a chance of being iced and not coming back, which I think is a direct correlation to the modern television that we're watching and is doing quite well, such as the Game of Thrones, where killing off a character every couple of episodes seems to be the norm. The Walking Dead, where killing off several characters a season is definitely the norm. We've gotten to the point where I think some of our level of suspense is based on is this character going to live or die?
Yeah, if I know every single week that Steve Austin is gonna use his bionic arm to save the day, and he's coming back next week. Why is it? These people do dangerous things. Star Trekkies do dangerous things. Walking Deaders do dangerous things. Game of Throners do dangerous things. People are gonna die. People are gonna die. So that makes it again more realistic, in that not everybody's safe, and even.
But we've had how many Star Trek series?
Oh, man.
Where that wasn't the case. Like, how often did someone die?
No, you're right.
The only time anybody really ever died was a contract dispute.
Right, or they go on a spinoff show.
Yeah, you know.
Worf leaves to go on a spinoff show, or Cole Meany leaves to go on a spinoff show.
And those guys didn't die. They just left that
went,
series to go do another series. So I think in the entirety of Star Trek I can think of, major characters, I don't think anybody in the original cast ever died.
Tasha Yar in...
Tasha Yar died because that was a contract dispute. And then came back as another character.
Right. There aren't very many
really,
others.
Tasha Yar off the top of my head. Oh, Dax. One body of Dax. The hot body of Dax
That's a Doctor
died.
Who thing, though. They would have to turn her over just because the base how the character is.
And then they brought in the non-hot Dax.
Right.
So, nothing personal against the non-hot Dax.
Right,
So,
I'm sure.
Star Trek fans we're going to keep, again, covering this. And if you're watching and you can comment, we're really interested in hearing what you're going to say, because I think there's going to be old school Star Trek fans, Gene Roddenberry fans, are not going to like this, I feel. I think they're going to be very upset about this major shift in the makeup of Star Trek. Whereas new fans, like ourselves, who want just really good, entertaining show, we're going to be really excited about some of the prospects. So I honestly see there being a little bit of friction. Now, on message boards, there's always that. But I think legitimately, I think the original Star Trek fans have a gripe here. Now, entertainment fans like me, I just want to be entertained. So whatever it's going to take to get us there. I don't care if it's a 5-year mission, 3-mission mission. I don't care. Don't care.
Was that an accent you just did?
Yeah.
What was it?
I don't know. Don't care.
It wasn't that Jamaican thing you always do.
No, drunken Jamaican Irish pirate. That is my favorite accent. Everybody that plays the game with me knows that
I
one.
don't care about Hellboy.
Really? I thought that was actually kind of your thing.
Go ahead.
So, Hellboy's getting rebooted completely. Brand new director, brand new actor, brand new concept. Going from a PG-13 rating to an R rating. So there's been a casting piece of news, and that is Mila...
Jovovich.
Really? Are you making that one up?
Nope.
Jovovich?
Jovovich with J's.
All right. Mila is going to take on the part of the big baddie, the Blood Queen. Now, the only thing that I'm really that familiar with Mila's work from is the Resident Evil series. I know that she's done some other work.
Sure, she was in Blood Rain, which is exactly the same movie as Resident Evil. Sure, go ahead.
Is that Bull that directed that crap?
Yeah.
Who Bull? Is she naked in that?
I don't think so.
I'm pretty sure the first Blood Rain has a gratuitous topless.
Blood Rain wasn't her.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Who was it?
So that might be it.
I think it was her. I think maybe the second one wasn't her.
No.
You think so?
So Blood Rain.
I'm gonna look.
The sad part is that in my head she is almost interchangeable for the Black Widow.
Really?
Yeah. What's her name?
Scarlett Johansson?
Yeah.
You're high, dude.
I really
Holy cow.
Geek card right now.
Oh my gosh.
I don't think that there's a movie that she's done that you can just put Mila into, or any part that Mila's done that you couldn't put her into and not, pull it off. I really don't think that there's a...
Scarlett Johansson is a sensual, sexual, even voluptuous. Just she's something else.
I think she's hot.
Oh, Mila Jovovich.
She's an actress that has that blank expression on her face all the time.
No, she doesn't.
Yeah,
It's ridiculous.
she
You're
does.
ridiculous.
And so does Mila. So I think
You're
they're about the
ridiculous.
same. So obviously, I think that Scarlett Johansson got the better agent and got better parts
Whatever.
and whatever. But I think that this could have easily have gone in the alternate universe. This could have easily been exchanged at birth, and one gone the other way and the other gone the thing. So, but the thing is that you're saying she's done the Blood Rain, she's done the Resident Evils, she's signing up for what looks to be a decent budget Hellboy movie, reboot, remake, whatever they want to call it. But she's also now going to be the bad guy in that of the Blood Queen. I don't even know anything about it, but it just seems like your agent is doing nothing but cast typing you the entire time here.
Well, I mean, nobody's knocking on our door. Kristen Loken was the first Blood in Blood Rain. She was Rain.
And I would imagine that there was a gratuitous topless scene in that.
That was Uwe Boll.
So, because even I'm at the age that I was watching, I'm like, whoa, that seemed out of nowhere. So
she's in Hellboy.
So that's it. Just there's some casting news for Hellboy, and I think that a lot of our geek fans are going to be into.
I hope it's good. Well,
Ian McShane? Who's he playing?
I'll go see it.
Oh, he's playing Professor Broomfield or whatever it is.
I'll go see it.
So
I'll see it. I've changed my mind on Hellboy.
The best part about the Blood Queen is that she's never mind. There's not a single joke you can do from Dead World to put on the show. It's just all edited, all cut. Just blank, beep, 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 beep.
Speaking of Deadwood, though, Ian McShane did confirm that there are talks and that he has been called and they are trying to figure out schedules to do
like a
Deadwood movie.
A movie?
Yep.
Because it doesn't really have any ending, right?
It does not, and it's one of my favorites. It's in my top 5 of all time.
I really enjoyed I got through about the first season and a half, first 2 seasons, and I stopped watching because I was binge watching it, and that is not a good program to binge watch because it is so depressing that, I mean, I actually felt, I think I was a little sick at the time. I was coming back from a Gen Con, and I'd got con crud, and I was sick for like a week. And so I was watching those, but being a little sick, and then that level of just ominous depression that sets in from watching Deadwood was too much. I had to stop.
And the sheriff's kid gets killed.
Oh, it's it's
sad.
rough stuff, man.
That was sad. Finish it out. Joe McCraney's in the second and third season.
I enjoy him.
So he's the bad guy, but again, no ending to it. So
it's too bad.
I do love that.
Couple of movies coming out that I'm interested in seeing.
There's so much out I want to see right now.
Well, I'm more obscure stuff because a lot of stuff's coming out.
Go ahead. We have 2 minutes.
GeekStorm just posted up a thing called the Gollum Murder Night Gollum thing. Looked like an interesting. Their big thing is before the Jack the Ripper. There was this other sensationalistic serial killer thing, whether it's based in reality or not.
Right.
But looks like you're going to get a little bit of cross of what we saw with Murder on the Orient Express, that kind of period piece, mixed with more of a darker, ominous serial killer kind of a feel.
Not the lighthearted serial killer that you normally get.
No Jim Carrey going around, or, Deadpool talking to crazy animals. This is going to be your Sherlock Holmesian period piece with some fairly dark stuff. So that looked really good. And then I don't even have the name for it. There's something coming out by Sam Elliott called Hero. I do know the name of it. That looks really freaking good. The actress from 70s Show and
Laura
The Orange
Prepon?
Is the New Black.
Or Mila Kunis.
Not Mila Kunis, the taller.
Laura Prepon.
She's in it. Hero, Sam Elliott. The idea is really simple. He's an elderly aged actor who had played a iconic Western character years ago and is now forgotten. And he's now being invited into like the Western Hall of Fame. It's a drama. And it looks really good.
What's it set in? What
time
like period?
Today. Modern day Sam Elliott looking back on the past, and just a drama. I don't even think it's a dramedy. So just flat out drama.
That's cool.
Looks really good. So looking forward to that. And last but not least, some pictures of Cable have popped up. Matt Brolin.
Yeah.
Not Matt Brolin.
No. Josh Brolin.
Josh Brolin.
Matt Brolin does a crappy Cable. I can tell you that right now.
Probably no good at all.
But the Josh Brolin Cable, it looks pretty good to me.
It looked good.
Yeah.
Looked sharp. So pictures of that, go out and see it. I imagine the pictures are all over the place though by the time this gets up. But looked really good. So there you go. Well, everybody, that is our Geek Storm for the day. I, Sean Hilton, fresh from the island, ready to protect my city and all geekdom. Thank you. On behalf of me and Mike, everybody be groovy, and we'll see you next time. Except next time I'll be at Gen Con, so I won't be.